Welcome. Welcome to this evening where we hear some words of wisdom from the guides, showering us with their light and their love and their guidance, always in our hearts. So welcome. Thank you for coming. May the living spirit that is in our life come forward and bring you peace, bring you the sense of knowing, of perspective, of knowing that everything works for the highest good, knowing that you are in the right place at the right time, and that nothing can be more powerful than light, and that trust and patience, if they are your watchwords, will always carry you through. So let us take that moment, put our right hand on our heart, left hand on our right, and take that breath. All you are is the breath. And while you are breathing, you have the opportunity to rise above everything. Everything. So let the spirit that is in all things fill you now like a golden shower from above, bringing down this beautiful golden light that fills every cell of the body. Beautiful shower of peace, of stillness, of healing, and of blessings. Let that shower filter its way down through your consciousness and through this column of light that is around each one of us. Allow it to filter its way down and to penetrate into every cell, releasing all pain, all worry, all fear, all thoughts, all sounds, only the peace, only the stillness. And as you feel your feet on the earth, imagine too that this shower is pouring down through your heart and entering through your feet into the very core of Mother Earth, letting her know that we're here, that we love her, appreciate her, that we are so grateful for this life, for all that she gives us. Every atom, molecule, every element that makes up this miracle that is our body, all of the nourishment and nurturing, the beauty, the magnificence of nature. This is our playground. Mother Earth is the place we came, our school ground. It is our home away from home while we are here. And we shower our gratitude on Mother Earth, and we allow her love to rise up through the column, through our hearts and up to Father Sky, feeling that flow backwards and forwards between the above and the below. And then let us focus on that beautiful shower of golden light pouring down now into our hearts and filling our hearts till they expand, until they form a beautiful sphere of golden white light. This column and this sphere surround each one of us. It's a sphere of protection. It keeps us safe, and it keeps any negative vibrations from entering into our field. Only love and light may be in this sphere. Only the most positive of beauty, of love, of peace, harmony, all those positive emotions fill us now and fill this sphere with a great understanding that we are part of God's world, that we are expressions of God's love, and that when we are in the heart, nothing can harm us. Let us allow that expansion of that golden light to move outwards beyond our sphere, with the threads of our hearts weaving together, sending out this golden light and radiating it out to touch the hearts of all those who suffer, all who live in fear, all who worry, all who are in pain, are confused, conflicted, or live in darkness. May this radiant light touch their hearts and comfort them and bring them peace. So you can rest your hands. Today we wish to talk to you about the concept of time. We wish to address that which, when you are rushing, when you are feeling a bit hurried, harassed, when you're feeling overwhelmed, we wish to address that you have an alternative, that you have the ability to take a breath, to stop, to slow down, and to take a breath. Breathe in and breathe out, and let go of that tension in the shoulders. Let go of that circle of words, those voices in the head, that urgency, that worry, that fear, allowing it all to melt into the breath, knowing in the depths of your being that somehow you will be okay. Somehow you will get through this. Somehow there is a higher purpose. There is a silver lining to every cloud. It has been in the consciousness of this one lately to experience what it feels like to be in the moment. Whether you are sitting in your car on the way to an airport, to an appointment, to going to play somewhere, to perform, going to meet someone that may be important to you, perhaps going for a meal or going for some form of entertainment. And your mind is so concerned and directed towards where you are going, what it might be like, what the traffic might be, what could possibly get in the way of you arriving on time. All of the thoughts that come to one's mind when you're going somewhere, or when you are thinking about something and you are not fully present in the moment. When it comes to the truth, when it comes to the highest perspective of your galactic friends, your spiritual friends, your guides, your angels, there is no time. There is no past, and there is no future. They are just ideas. You think about the rent, and something tightens up in your shoulders, and the rent is due at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month. Somehow you paid this month's rent or mortgage, and now you are starting to worry about something that hasn't happened yet, something that is down the road. It is not in your present moment. and yet you may be holding it in your body. You're holding it in your thoughts, in your mind, and you are putting emotions into the thoughts, into those places in your mind where the voices are running around, and you are going through your checkbook in your mind and wondering how you will make it through the month. Or perhaps you have an entirely different scenario for yourself. Maybe somebody you feel doesn't like you, or there's something going on where you have to face telling somebody something that is uncomfortable. Or maybe you are anxious about something else. Perhaps you just met somebody and you don't know how they like you or don't like you. Whatever the scenario is, it is running around in your head. Perhaps you're feeling it in your body as a certain tightness in a particular place in your body. Perhaps your shoulders tighten up when you think about it. Perhaps your mind is going around in circles with what-ifs, assumptions, projections. Perhaps you're worried about something that happened in the past and you cannot forgive yourself, or you feel guilt or shame about something. Perhaps you're judging yourself, your performance, against somebody else that you compare yourself to. All of these and numerous other scenarios are pretty much part of everyone's daily life. And it takes discipline, and it takes courage, and it takes a shift in perception to realize that all of these thoughts, all of the emotions, all of the worries and feelings, and all the tension in your body could be unnecessary because you are not solving them in the moment. You are just worrying or thinking or focusing about them. So we want to bring you an understanding of what it means that there is no time, that there is no future, and there is no past. There is only the moment. The moment is punctuated by a breath, by a heartbeat, and by a thought. And when you notice the thought, and you notice the quality of the thought, you notice the feeling, whether it is positive or negative, whether it enhances your life or detracts from your life, you notice that that's where your focus is. You have the opportunity in the moment to take a breath and let go of any tension or any negative association or any emotional attachments that you might have to that thought, to this particular moment. And so when this one was driving to the airport, he had a flash of understanding. Right now, I am driving. I am in the flow of the drive. The road seems to be nice and clear. Everything is lovely. I'm hearing the music, and there's nothing I can do in this moment about when I might arrive at my destination, what will happen with the security, what will happen when I go through and show them my identification or show them my boarding pass, what will happen with my luggage, what will happen with my seat, what will happen with the weather. What will happen with all of the things that could be issues in your mind? Right now, I'm sitting in the car and I'm driving. Nothing else exists. I could even imagine what it would feel like to be in another moment, completely different moment, and I'm driving back home from the airport. And all the many things that I will spend my time on in the interim between my driving to the airport and my driving home are all either exciting or worrisome or anxiety-making, or are bringing me a sense of adventure. Everything about the space between driving to the airport and from the airport is a mystery. It has not happened yet. And it makes no sense for me to focus on it. I have prepared myself well. And right now, in this moment, instead of worrying, I am taking a nice breath. I'm enjoying the music. And I'm just present. Perhaps I'm feeling my feet on the pedals, my seat on the seat. Perhaps I'm slowly, gently relaxing my shoulders, taking another breath. I am living in this present moment because the future is not here and the past is gone. My childhood isn't here anymore. My ancestors are not here. I do not know when I will die or how. I do not know anything about the future because everything is open-ended. Anything can change on a dime. I could be going back home, back to heaven, tomorrow for all I know. And yet I have this moment. We want you to consider when you are feeling a particular emotion rise in you. Perhaps you got triggered by something or someone, and you keep thinking about it, and you cannot shake it. And the emotions are coming up, and the sense of failure, the sense of regret over something. Why did I say this? Why did I not do that? All these things take you out of the present moment. And the emotion, let's say there is fear, there is a sense of deep sadness associated with that thought, with that experience you had with that person. Perhaps you owe somebody money and they are angry with you. Perhaps somebody decided they no longer love you. They don't want to be your friend. Whatever the million scenarios are, you have the moment. You have the ability to notice that I am feeling something. That feeling is uncomfortable. I'm feeling fear. I am feeling deep sadness. I'm feeling regret, anxiety. Instead of angsting about it, instead of running it around in your head, we are going to suggest that you notice the feeling in your body associated with that emotion, and that you notice the emotion. Right now, I'm feeling this deep sadness, this loneliness, this emptiness. I don't feel comfortable feeling this. I want to be feeling happy or I want to be feeling comfortable. And so you ignore or you change the channel to that feeling, and yet it keeps persisting. And yet you're feeling uncomfortable. And so you experience that you're spending your moment going back and forth, trying to avoid the discomfort. And we are going to recommend that you try a different tack. We recommend that you feel the feeling completely. I'm sad. What is it that triggers my sadness? What does it feel like to feel this sadness? Perhaps I will not be able to figure it out. But perhaps if I just allow myself to feel the sadness and see what comes up, perhaps there'll be a memory of a time when I was rejected, or I hurt somebody and I felt bad. And that sadness has been with me a long time. What would I respond to this sadness? How would I address it and say, tell me what you want of me. Tell me what I should do to experience this sadness to the full. Perhaps I should allow it to fill my being and allow the tears to come. And then perhaps they will dissipate. Perhaps I will feel differently when I have actually allowed myself to feel that. We spoke to you last time about fear. When the fear arises, I can't pay the bills. I'm worried about what so-and-so thinks of me. Allow the fear to come up and feel it. As we said last time, if you were an animal and you had a moment of fear because you were being chased and it was life or death, and you were finally safe, you would shake and shake and shake until you had released all the emotion from your body. What would it take for you, perhaps sitting in that car, driving to the airport and feeling this fear all of a sudden? What would it take for you in that moment to experience fully, examining the worst case scenario? So what can happen? It's not now. I'm just feeling an emotion right now. Nothing else has happened to threaten my life. If that person doesn't love me anymore, I will still be okay. I'm still here. I can still love myself. And so you examine every thought, every feeling, every projection, and every worry. And you allow the feeling, you allow the thoughts, you notice them, but you don't give any of it any power. You recognize I am having an experience in the moment. It is not the future. There was nobody from my childhood who is running after me with a strap. Nobody is out to hurt me. I am safe right now. Nobody is waiting in the bushes. I am safe. I'm feeling fear because I'm worried. I'm projecting my fear into the future. But there is no future. There is only the moment. So be as fully present as you can in the moment. When you do not indulge in taking a substance or alcohol or a cookie, something that will alleviate for that moment that feeling and allow you to feel a little numb, but you fully are present in your body, allowing yourself to feel where in the body. Perhaps you can identify where that feeling might be. Is there a tightening in my tummy? Is my breath all of a sudden very short and fast? Are my shoulders tight? Oh, worries. Oy, 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 what's going to happen? You take a breath and you come back to the moment. This is the path of the spiritual warrior. This is the path of the be here now. This is the path of the power of now. This is the way to overcome all challenges. It is also the way to tune in to the presence of a higher power. Your guides, your angels, your guides, your angels, not some God out there. Something in there, something inside of you. For as much as you feel and project, you have the capacity to go into your heart and feel peace and feel a presence of your angels and your guides, your intuition, your higher self, your power. You have permission to love yourself just the way you are. You can remind yourself that you managed to come through this far and you always managed. Perhaps you had pain, but you can't remember the pain that you had when you had that terrible headache, because right now you don't have it. And perhaps if you have pain in the moment, you remind yourself that you had a moment before when you didn't have pain, and there will be another moment when you don't have pain, because everything comes and goes, just as the clouds, just as your thoughts. Everything is transient. Everything exists in the moment and only in the moment. Nothing that is not in the moment exists. Your home, when you are driving to the airport, does not exist in your current reality except as a thought, as a memory, as an image. You cannot touch it, you cannot see it, you cannot hear it, smell it, or feel it. So it is important to train yourself to come back to the moment. When you are caught up in this event of the pandemic, and everybody is going back and forth with their ideas, with whatever truths they may believe in, with requirements of you, with explanations, with all the videos you may have read or heard of, all the things that people have told you. None of that exists in the moment. If you are in a situation where you are required to do something, and it's right in the moment to do that, you do it. It's not a story. Everything that is not in the moment is a story. Even in the moment when you're projecting your worry into the future, or you are concerned about something that happened when you were a little child, is a story. You can tell new stories, you can tell old stories, but they occupy your mind and take you away from feeling your presence in the moment. What does it feel like to be you? What does it feel like to be that unique being that you are? What does it feel like to know in the moment what is going on, or what is the situation, or what does somebody else feel like? What is your response to that feeling of who you think they are or who you feel they are? It is a constant requirement to examine, to bring your fullness of your consciousness into each experience, into each moment, into each person's connection. It is important that you know who you are and that you do not allow yourself to be swayed by what other people seem to think of you. Realize that most of your projections, assumptions, most of the things you have assumed are true about you, about others, are merely conjecture. They are merely ideas. And most of them are based upon your conditioning, your imprinting, your ancestral patterns, and all that has been placed within your DNA. Try and find what is authentic to you. Who are you? What is your deepest aspiration? What are your highest goals? What do you see for yourself? Not down some road that you paint in order to get away from something in the moment that does not feel comfortable. But what is it that your heart longs to express that is your passion, that is your mission? How do you embrace and embody more light? How do you become a radiant source of light for others? How do you show up in the world? What does it mean to open your heart and keep it open, especially in the face of judgment or criticism? When you have to choose for yourself how you feel about yourself in the face of somebody else's judgment. We are just throwing out ideas for you to consider. And for you to consider that all of these experiences, expressions, and considerations are ideas for what to deal with in the present moment when you have so-called time on your hands, when you are not actively engaged in a process, but you have the ability to let your mind run rampant or to bring it into focus on a higher purpose, on positivity, on love, on blessing, on ease and grace, on expecting only good things in your life, on living with magic. You have the ability, the capacity, the power, and the free will to choose in each moment what to focus on. If there's an emotion, if there is a thought that is discomforting, you have the power in the instant to shift and change it. This is what we recommend as part of your trajectory into the future, the unknown future. because you cannot see the future and you cannot really trust anyone else to see the future for you. You are creating the future in the moment through your attitude, through the way in which you direct your energy and thoughts and feelings, and through the way in which you are able to flip things around, to take a negative experience or thought or projection and bring it back home, turn it around and turn it into a positive, not projection, but radiation. You direct that positive thought into the universe through your will and through your heart. And you start to create the reality based on a new set of belief systems that are repatterning the neural pathways in your brain. Instead of seeing clouds and rain, you are seeing a beautiful day that has the potential for you to be able to rest and stay indoors or experience what it's like to have wetness upon your face and a chill in the air and the experience of the snow upon your head. So you see everything through new eyes, through the eyes of experience. But the experience is just an experience. There is no association of an emotion that is negative with them. Instead, you bring in some joy. You bring in some fun. You laugh. It's cold. And you laugh at yourself. Oh, I'm cold. Next moment, I'll be warm. I'll be indoors. I'm doing what I'm doing. There's no judgment around it. There is no angst around it. I am not trying to get away from something. I am fully present. We give you our love always. We are with you in every aspect of your being because we are not physical. We are ethereal beings for you. We exist in your mind, in your heart, in your thoughts, and we exist at other levels and other dimensions where we meet with you, where we help you, where we guide you, and where we are available to you. We wish to give you a glimpse of a way in which you can use perspective to see your life and the lives of those around you, where you can choose a positive, higher perspective, a bird's eye view, where you can start to see through God's eyes, speak with God's voice, know with God's wisdom, because you are God. You are the divine essence that has been created by a higher power, by a supreme intelligence. That is the reality of your essence. We wish you to experience this, to know it, to become accustomed to this being your reality, instead of, oh, heck, it's snowing outside, or it's raining again, or whatever. Find a way to see the brightness, to shift your association with everything into positive, into love, into light, into harmony, into peace, and into stillness. Remember to breathe. Remember that you are love, that you are loved. You are the living spirit that is in our life. You cannot be anything but. You are the essence of God's love. And we love you just the way you are. We will finish the speaking now so that you have time for your questions. And we do not go on and on and on. We love you. We will take a break. And when we return, we will answer your questions. Thank you for your presence here. We look forward to answering your questions and being with you at the other side of a 5-minute break.